of this country are loving, good people who are being led by the worst people who've ever led a country. And that is just true. I think that's true. I mean it. My love of Americans and my loathing of their leaders deepens every day that we're on the road. It really, really does, because the disconnect. So what can you do about it? Well, you can vote. I don't think I've ever encouraged anyone to vote ever, but I feel like in this state it's particularly important. I'm not a political person. I'm not here on behalf of a candidate. You probably guess who I'm voting for. I actually am voting this year. I am. But I do think people should vote in the state of Michigan. You often hear, we get the leaders we deserve. That's a total lie. No, you don't. No, you don't. And you see that around the world. I've been in plenty of countries with horrible leaders. Those people don't deserve them. Nobody deserves leaders like that. And so I did hear of something really cool today. I've never done anything like this, but I'm gonna do it now. There's actually a website in the state of Michigan where you can find people who probably would vote for the candidate you're voting for, but don't vote. And you can look them up. The voter rolls are right there. It's called 10X Votes. And you can go on there and just contact people you know and be like, hey, by the way, we don't deserve this. These people are horrible. And we're not horrible. We're great. And if you're frustrated with these people, even if you don't think the system works, even think it's all fake, even think they're gonna steal it in the end, that's not exactly true. You can overwhelm their malintent by your voting.
Well, thanks for having me as always, Peter. And by the way, I wholeheartedly agree with you that just because it's in a Democratic area does not mean there are not low-key Republican votes there. Look, what's different about that effort that Tucker brought up in Michigan, which is huge, by the way, is that there's been a lot of Republican efforts to get out the vote and try to work within this system that nobody really likes, but to register and get out votes and get them to early vote. These low proposition and no proposition voters, for the first time in my lifetime, actually favor Republicans, and specifically they favor Donald Trump. And that has never been the case my entire lifetime, my entire career. It has always been, because we're having a realignment, it's always been that those voters favor Democrats. And when there is high turnout, it usually was a good sign for the Democrat. Now that is reversed. And 10X votes, what's different, there's a lot of these efforts out. What's different about 10X is there are a few things. One is there's no money in it for consultants. This thing is like built for the posse. It's built for the grassroots. Republicans, people who lean to the right, they're skeptical. They're inherently skeptical. They must be approached a different way. And the simplest genius of 10X votes is that it is done through people you know, your coworkers, your neighbors, your family members, your friends. So you just simply go to the database and you look up people in your social circles, and it will tell you whether or not they vote. But there's this feeling out there, like I said, that it doesn't matter, your vote doesn't matter. When we researched all these people, and we surveyed them in multiple states, large sample sizes, they tell us the same thing over and over again, and it's a lot of the stuff that you'll hear from even high propensity right-wing voters. It doesn't matter. The system's rigged. My vote doesn't count, right? And that is just not true. Your vote does count, and they cannot infinitely stuff a box. You can overwhelm them. And until Republicans get that through their heads, there's going to be that risk of defeatism.